Hello, my name is Brennan, and I'm here to talk more about my survival crafting game in Unreal. So, the main thing I worked on this week was getting the survival component working, and in order to do that, I had to use Claude Code because I don't know how to uh, do a lot of this stuff, and this saved me an absolute ton of time to get such a complicated feature out in a week. Um, it made it just exactly the way that I designed it and I asked it to make it, and I was overall very impressed at the process. I wrote more about it in my Substack post. Um, Feel free to check that out. So, the other thing I did this week and why we're starting in the blueprint today is I fixed the swimming logics that I mentioned last time. Uh, so, it turns out all I had to do was add a physics volume into the level, and it completely solved the issue I had where uh, it wasn't switching properly into the swimming stuff. So I no longer have all of the things where I was like fighting every tick against the system, basically trying to tell it to just let me swim. Because what the system is reading is like, you're not in water, there's no physics volume here, so obviously you're walking. So that was the problem I was facing. And so there's no more like water detecting collider, it's just purely on once I enter that physics volume, it knows I'm there and it's able to switch the movement mode. So I just have a little bit here to help me like jump out of the water, and we're also I also added in a bit of a, let's just look at it. Um, I added in a bit of a post-process effect here. Just once you enter the water, um, the water plugin has a built-in one, but it wasn't really working the way I wanted it to. And then you might notice I have these things on my HUD. So I'm working next on getting these to be enum values, enum states instead of just numbers, because like what does an 8 or a 77 mean? But um, I have that working for the temperature so far, where right now I'm uncomfortable because I just went in and got super wet, um, and it's bringing my temperature down, it's bringing my sickness up. I'm getting hungry. My guy's got all sorts of needs that if they're not met, he's gonna survive. He's not gonna survive, rather. And I'll show you that. Um, if I turn this hunger decay rate up to like really high, um, and launch the game, boom, I died. So that's pretty cool. And a bit more about that system is just uh, the ambient temperature will like naturally bring down my temperature or bring it up over time if it doesn't if my temperature is different, if I'm like too hungry, too wet, too cold, my sickness will increase, um, which will also kill me if it reaches its absolute limit. And then if my temperature reaches either extreme of being too cold or too hot, I'll either die from overheating or freezing to death. So yeah, just introducing a lot of those fail states, and um, yeah, that's like the vast majority of what I've done so far. I also uh, like as I've been working on this, like my to-do list just keeps growing. So like when I'm right here at the top of the water, the post-process thing should turn off. I can fly right now, which I need to tweak when the waves dip too low. So I kind of need to figure out a solution for that, and um, yeah, there's just lots to do. I want to make these show up, the crafting system show up properly. I'm also going to shrink it down so it doesn't take up the entire screen. Maybe, have labels just work on the UI a bit to be more explicit and all of that stuff. Make a campfire so that I can cook and eat food and help deal with my needs. And moving on from there, maybe making a village next and having people to talk to. And, from there, it's lots of stuff to do from there. So, yeah, I think that's everything I really wanted to show um, for the progress here. And um, feel free to come to the Substack and read more about what it was like for me to uh, implement Claude Code into this project and get it working with Perforce and writing in C++ and stuff like that. So, thank you.